Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either.
Well, the president wasn't expected to take questions. He was expected to just come out and talk about an infrastructure plan, but true to form, Trump actually decided he wanted to talk to reporters, and it was very clear right from the start that he had some things he wanted to get off his chest. He really wanted to reiterate his initial comments about the Charlottesville violence. There had been a process playing out over the last couple of days where White House advisors were really trying to get Trump to a place where he said something that was more strident and more directly critical of the white nationalist, white supremacist groups that we saw protesting in Charlottesville. And they had gotten him to that place on Monday, where he came out, gave a pretty carefully worded statement, condemned racism as evil, went after some of these white supremacist groups, but it was clear today that that was not what Trump really had wanted to do. He came out to the Trump Tower lobby and defended his initial statement, where he essentially blamed the violence on both sides. He said that the white supremacist groups had a permit to be there to protest, and that really, if you looked at what happened, that this was something that it was a situation with blame to go around for both sides. Now, this is the exact thing that Republicans and business leaders were criticizing him for, and now he's gone back and doubled down on this statement, and the White House advisors that we have been talking to in the initial aftermath are pretty stunned that he did this, and it's very unlikely that this is now something that's just going to go away, which had been what the White House advisors had hoped. There's a pattern that we see with Trump where he will say something that he appears to believe in, he will absorb the criticism. Sometimes advisors can get him to a place where he tries to move past the criticism by saying something different, but the reality with Trump is that he cannot be controlled. He can do what his advisors want for a day at a time, sometimes even a week at a time. He can go off Twitter for a couple days here and there, but in the end, this is a 71-year-old man who believes what he says. He is unable to be controlled, and he really chafes it being controlled. So the question now is, how does he go forward? Is this something that he tries to move past? If he does, I think that is going to be quite difficult. I think you're going to continue to see a response from Republicans, from business leaders, certainly from Democrats. And how does he recalibrate? He's heading into a fall where he has an incredibly packed legislative agenda. Are Republicans going to continue to stand by him and vote with him on a tax reform package, for example, try to work with him on health care? Do they decide that this is too much and they have to go in their own direction? We've had that conversation before, certainly in the campaign, since he's been in the White House. Generally, the White House and Republicans have hung together, but those are questions that we're exploring at this point.